What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be dyeing black a Louis Vuitton Speedy 25. So before I get started on dyeing, I like to clean the bag with some Chemical Guys leather cleaner and a fingernail brush. This will make sure and get all of that dirt out of the crevices of the bag and just make it look so much better. So there's the nail brush, and I just take that with a little bit of the leather cleaner and swirl it around in circular motions all over the bag. And here I'm just showing the Speedy 25, the before. It's still so cute, but it's just a little dirty and needs some love. So I'm just kind of looking it over, making sure I look for some spots that need, and you can really in person you can see the dirt. I don't know if you can see it, but you can just see it really caked in there. So I'm just gonna spray some of that leather cleaner on the bag and just up and down in circular motions. I'm just going to really try to work those bristles into the groove of that bag so I can get the dirt out. As I'm scrubbing, I am also taking a rag and wiping away the dirt and the soap. I just don't want it to dry, you know, in there. So after I've cleaned the bag with a leather cleaner, I will condition it with some Apple Care leather conditioner. Basically just putting it on there, rubbing it in, and this will really help bring some of the luster back on the bag after soaping it. It looks so much better already, oh my gosh. So here I am prepping the leather for the dye, and basically some of these bags are a little bit older and that glazing really doesn't need like an actual deglazer. So to prevent drying the bag out even more, I just use the leather cleaner instead with a rag and a little bit of pressure, not too much, and it really just helps get that glazing off and gives me a really good finish for me to start dyeing. I really prefer this method unless I have a newer bag that needs the deglazing on it instead. So this is a really good option to help with the dryness of the bag. So once I've conditioned with the Apple Care, I take my Armor All Protectant, and this will help like really give the bag a good luster, a good shine to it, and it'll help brighten up that canvas too. This is a really good trick to help with your vintage bags if they look dull, to make sure and clean them really good with those nail brushes or something, and then shine them real good with the protectant. So after I finish protecting it, I use Brasso metal polish to polish all the rivets and brackets, just to make it look newer, nicer. It just really looks so good after you've dyed the bag with the bright gold and the black. It just looks really good together. So I just take a Q-tip and I polish all the rivets. I try not to get so much of the Brasso onto the bag, just so you can't really see it after it's dyed. And there I'm showing kind of like a before and after. It's kind of hard to see, but so it looks like I finished brassoing. So pretty. Now it's time to get to dyeing. So before I dye, I like to take my bag to protect it a little bit, and I just use some blue painter's tape. and basically I'm just gonna tape around those chaps on the bag. For the dye, I like to use Vibing's Pro Dye. This is a really good dye to use. Once it's dry, it's not transferable as well as regular dyes. You still have to seal it. I would still seal this dye. And I like to put it in my Tarani coffee syrup bottles because it's much easier to pour versus out of that giant bottle. So for me to dye the piping, I really suggest that you open the bag and shove your hand in there to push the piping out, because this will really help you get into those crevices easier. There, I'm just inspecting the piping, making sure everything looks good. Okay, so now I'm gonna tape the chaps. I showed the tape earlier, but we're gonna tape the chaps now. I also tape underneath those tabs too, because I am gonna be dyeing those tabs as well, and I don't want to get any dye on the bag from that. And the bag's all taped. Alright, so basically I start on the chaps and just in circular motions. I put the dye all over the chap and I don't touch the threads. Whenever I am dyeing the bag, I just make sure there's barely anything left on my brush to dye the threads with, because it can come through the other side and you don't want ink all on the inside of your bag. So to seal the bag up, I use Vibing's leather sheen, and I make sure and get it all over the dyed parts, on the sides, just everywhere, because you never know, it could touch something and you know, you don't want dye to transfer onto your customer or on your own clothes. So just make sure and get the dye or the sealant everywhere. And I really like the Vibing's leather sheen. It just looks so good. It's not too shiny, it's not too matte. It really looks good and makes the bag just look really professional. And there she is, all completed. I've taken some acetone to those brackets and rivets to make sure and get any excess dye off of the metal hardware, and she's ready for her customer to enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you loved this video. Let me know what else you'd like to see dyed. Thanks, bye.